Welcome back! This is my first finished project of 2023. Today's January 8th. I finished it this morning and I'm very, very proud of myself. It has not been washed yet, so there are a lot of fuzzies on it, as well as there are a lot of fuzzies on me. I have used this pattern before. It is something I personally came up with. It's called the Spicy Icy because the first time I made it I used blue and orange. I have a feeling it's been done before, but I came up with my own dimensions, so in that way, if it has been done before, at the very least it hasn't been done in this size. This is my first quilt finish since the Pig Star quilt, which is a long time ago. I did the Pig Star quilt back in August, then went on a little quilter's break because I had been quilting pretty much non-stop. I said I'll start at the beginning of September. Beginning of September rolled around, I was a little bit busy with work, and then I got pretty sick there for a little bit. That's when this started. I was off of work, and when I was kind of starting to feel a little bit better, I started this. I also made a tutorial for this block back in October. I'm going to say anytime I do a tutorial, proceed with caution because I do not think a second time about anything. This quilt turned out pretty good considering that I had trouble picking up fabric, which is one of the main reasons why it took me so long, because I went block by block until the end. Beginning of December, so I think about a month ago, I had a few days off of work that I had pre-booked and I did a bunch of stuff that I needed to get done. And I thought I was going to get the quilt finished done. And I had 9 blocks, not these specific 9, but 9 blocks done. I laid them out. I was like, this is not going to be big enough. I want a quilt that I can enjoy. As far as I know, this finishes about, I think it's 60 by 76. Maybe it was a Tuesday. I don't know. Maybe it was last week Sunday. I don't quite remember. I got on my kitchen floor and I basted it. And then this week has just been trying to find time to quilt it. I started in the center and did a directional line, and I'm just kind of echoing the lines that are kind of already in the pattern there. And the mistake that I did not make with this quilt that I did make with the Pig Star quilt is I made sure as I went along, regardless of how the pins that I had basted with fell, to just make sure it was all flat, and how you're supposed to quilt it like that, not be like, oh well, I pinned it on the floor like this so it must be correct even though I've got a big bulge on the top. I wasn't going to do that again. I only notice it now that it's hanging up. There's so many fuzzies. I pulled some from 2 different bundles I got from, no, actually 3 different bundles. Purchased a bunch from Stacked Fabric. I was looking for something that was on sale, something that was very colorful. The goal is to not use so much white in my quilts, at least for the next few quilts. That's exactly what I've got. I'm satisfied with how it turned out. I do want to talk about the binding. This is not hand bound, and if you get a close-up you'll know that. So this morning I pulled 5 fat quarters that were bright. I sewed them together on the long side, so I had them all one after another. I had trimmed them up a little bit, and then I just cut strips, such a size that I could get straight cuts out of it, and that's how I made my binding. And I had a lot of leftover binding because I didn't want to do the math and figure it out. That's kind of it for the quilt. My mother has asked if she can have it in her living room. I don't know what I was planning to do with this quilt, and that's okay. There will always be a need for good quilts, even bad quilts, but I don't think we should really make that distinction. And I want to talk about a couple non-quilty things. Sometime in December, I reached 100 subscribers, holy cow, on YouTube, and I was really excited about this because where did y'all come from? But then I looked at my, are you quite done? Yeah. My Nova Star video, and it has, at the time of recording, at least 7,000 views on it, and it's picked up more and more as time has gone on. So, for 100 subscribers, thank you very much. It's been fun. It's been fun to read comments and reply and stuff. It's a different feel than Instagram. I have been working more, which is why YouTube's been a little empty, which is why this quilt took me 4 months to do. There's been a lot of personal life stuff going on. But mostly the thing with work is we've been short-staffed. Since we have to train new people, they can't do all of the stations yet, which is fair. and you do have to build up your confidence and your knowledge when you're working there. Those of us that have been working for a bit have had to shoulder more of a load in certain stations than others. It used to be we could rotate quite frequently and easily, and now I'm kind of evaluating most of the time. Not annoying, but a bit much to always evaluate. Yes, what is it? Oh, he's like, Mom, don't pick me up. I don't like to be held. Or do you? Do you suddenly like to be held? Oh. Because if you do, that's okay. This was like the runtiest kitten I ever met. I thought he was going to die. I remember holding you in my hand one day. He could fit in my hand. I don't even have big hands. I have already picked out the fabric for my next project, which will be a baby quilt. And I've decided I'm going to give the Then Came June Goldie pattern a go. I read through it this morning. I'm kind of confused. So we'll see how that goes. My quilting goals for 2023 are to not purchase any more fat quarter bundles or any fabric that I don't imminently need a use for. So like if I need to have a specific colored binding for a specific project, obviously I'm going to go out and get that. I'm hoping to pick up some skills. So there's a local quilters, is it a studio? They sell stuff. They have long arm machines that you can rent, but you must take their course to learn how to do it properly. So I'm thinking about signing up for that. Last year I finished 6. This year I'm hoping to finish 10. So this is my first finish. For YouTube I'm hoping to get monetized by the end of the year, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not holding out hope. I'm just really busy at work right now. Well, I think I've said all that I can. I'll take some photos and then I'll take it down.